Oh, sorry, I'm happy no one's watching me. Like, I'm in a car, but, like, I'm happy no one's watching me, you know? When, like, you're just out and vlogging. And, like, I don't know if you know, but, like, when you're out just trying to... Or, like, if you're taking a selfie in the car and you're just, like... And you see someone looking at you, you're, like... Like, you just kind of sink down. Welcome back to my channel. Today I will be talking about my G2 epic fail experience, okay? It's a long story, so make sure you guys grab that hot chocolate because I know it's that time of year and we like the hot chocolate, okay? We like the coffee, we like the tea, but the hot chocolate hits differently, especially when you put that whipped cream and those marshmallows. Woo! I'm sorry for the delay on videos. I've just been a little crammed with school. As most of you guys know, I'm in university and it's exam season, so your brain kind of like does weird things, and like I haven't had time to dance, haven't had time to vlog, make any videos, so everything was kind of just on pause until I was finished exams. But as most of you guys know, if you follow me on Instagram, you see that I got my G2 finally. But basically my test was booked for Monday, so I'm like, hey mom, you gotta take me because I don't have any other way to get there. And I don't have any other car to drive, so I'm gonna have to use yours. And she's like, okay, like, whatever, like, I'll take you, I guess. So we drive all the way down to Burlington with one of my sisters, and we go. I'm amped, I'm ready to go do this stupid test and get it over with. If you watch my previous videos, you know that I moved to Waterloo. So on my driver's license for my G1, it still says Brampton, which is, yes, my fault, but I walked up, and I'm like, hey, like, he's like, can I see your driver's license? I'm like, yeah. And this is the security guard at the door, okay? It's not even anyone that works in the actual facility. It's not anyone that's gonna test me personally. Like, it's just a security guard, okay? It's just this dude wearing a security jacket that's telling people what to do, okay? Basically, he's like, you need proof that you live at this address, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, cool. Can I show you it on my phone? I could pull up anything you want. And he's like, no, it has to be paper. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm like, I could go print something out and come back. Like, is that okay if I'm 5 minutes late for my test? And he's like, yeah, for sure. They're still gonna take you. I'm like, sick. I'm like, sick. So I go into Staples and I print off this huge thing of my account, and like, it's a huge piece of paper, and I printed it off, and I'm like, okay, sick. So I'm just gonna go show him this. So we go back to the place and he's like, sorry you're late. Second of all, you didn't have the paperwork when you showed up. I'm like, what? You literally just told me to go print this shit out and then I'd be fine. Like, I'd be able to do my test. I'm like, sir, like, I just want to speak to your supervisor. And he's like, it's gonna take about half an hour. Like, I don't know, like, it's really... I'm like, I don't care. I will wait. Like, I was so mad that, like, I was just so mad, okay? The supervisor comes out within like 2 minutes, and she's like, she was so nice. She's like, yeah, sorry, like, you have to understand, people do like fraud and all this stuff. She's like, no, you have to go home, book an appointment, and like, when you come back, make sure you have the paperwork with you. I'm like, okay, fine. Basically, I go home, change all my addresses and whatnot, like, to my actual current address, and I go to book another test. And I wasn't reimbursed yet, so I had to pay like $60 to book my appointment. And every single location within like 100 kilometers of where I live was totally booked until March 2021. And I'm like, no friggin' way. Like, no way is this happening right now. Like, God's doing, like, he's laughing at me, like, really. But yeah, I keep searching. I'm like, crap, like, I'm not gonna get my license till next year. I see that Hamilton has a date available for the next day, the Tuesday, at 1 o'clock, okay? And I'm like, oh my god, my mom just drove an hour from Burlington to Waterloo. Now she's gonna go to Hamilton to Waterloo. Like, she's not gonna do that for me. And I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. I'm like, please, 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 please. And I'm like praying. I'm like, Mom, can you please take me? Like, please, like, please. I begged her. And luckily she took me. When I went into Hamilton, they're like, I'm like, I brought checks. I brought my OSAP. I brought everything, okay? I brought everything that I needed to possibly prove that I live here. And they're like, yeah, you don't need that. Like, we believe you, type of thing. And they didn't even, like, it wasn't even a problem. Like, I'm like, thank the Lord. Anyways, they get to the test, and I'm sitting in the passenger seat. My mom's waiting here in the driver's seat, and she doesn't have her mask on because obviously we're just waiting in the car. And my instructor is walking towards the car, so my mom gets out, and he's like, sorry, you're gonna have to wait about 20 minutes because your mom wasn't wearing a mask. So wind down all the windows, wait. And I'm like, is God, like, what is God doing right now? But anyways, I roll down the windows. My mom's waiting outside in the freezing cold. Like, God. So I'm waiting here. 40 minutes pass by. I'm like, I can't feel my toes because the car's not on. All the windows are down. Like, it's basically like I'm standing outside. And I was just in a hoodie and track pants. So I was like, great. Anyways, an hour later, he comes back and he's doing my test. I'm like, I'm ready to drive. Like, I'm super scared. Well, not scared, more like nervous because someone's like judging me. So it's like nerves. But basically, yeah, we go. I messed up parallel parking. I don't want to talk about it, okay? But basically, he's like, pull over after I was finished the parking. He's like, pull over to the side. I'm like, he's going to tell me I failed. He's like, and then he goes, you know, a lot of instructors would like fail their students if they didn't get parallel down because it's an essential part of the test and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I understand. Like, I'm like, it's like the reality is sinking. I'm like, I understand. And he's like, but I'm not one of those. I'm like, okay, sick. I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, you're following everything right, like doing everything correctly. It's just that. Just make sure you practice. I'm like, sick. So I'm here with a boatload of confidence. I'm like, he's like, okay, pull off, like, whenever it's safe to do so. So I'm like, okay, sick. Signal out, go, boom. Okay, I'm going 60 down the street because that's what the speed limit was. And there's a friggin' hidden stop sign, okay? And basically I found out the girl before me that he evaluated missed this stop sign and she failed her test because of that. Because she just like went straight through. And I kid you not, I was about to run this stop sign, and if he didn't tell me to slow down, I would have failed my test. Because, like, you literally could not see this stop sign in a 60 zone, okay? I don't understand the point of it, but got my G2. Super stoked, okay? Now I'm looking for a car because this is my mom's car. She doesn't like me driving it. I've never actually driven it, like, alone until today. But, yeah. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're not following my socials, they'll be down in the description box. Don't forget to check them out. See you guys soon.